So Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2. Feels like a loss to me, but it is what it is. For a neutral, it was probably the best game you'll watch all season. 2-0 up. Could have lost, could have won. Chances galore. Like each way you looked. Like first half, we could have been out of sight. Second half, they dominated. Make sure you smash the likes up. Don't cry about the ratings because we don't care. And Jez, give us your little breakdown of how the game went today, mate, for anyone who ain't watched the fan cam.
Well, I'm bitterly disappointed, Lee and Kelly. 2-0 up at Anfield. You know, you don't get that every day. The 20-odd plus times I've ever been there, I was thinking today, how many times have I ever seen Arsenal 2-0 up? I can think of one game, obviously. We all know that one. And I can think of probably 3 others. But yeah, mate, I'm just so upset. So upset. I was loving that game. We were in total command for 35 minutes. And then Xhaka de Xhaka. First time we've seen it this season, sadly. And the thing is, Lee, all the time, you keep the Anfield crowd quiet. They don't come on you. But I'm sorry, mate, Mr. Xhaka today, you clocked that because you let the Anfield home fans get fired up. They came on us, and then we capitulated, and we could have lost 3-2. And I mean, I'm sorry, we couldn't string 2 passes together in that second half. It was shockingly embarrassing, and I am seriously still fuming, and I've had a row with the wife about it because she said, "Oh, come on, it's only a game." I said, "It's more than a bleeding game." It's more
when they drop it, it's only a game. That cuts deep, mate. That's like when your parents say to you, "I'm not angry, I'm disappointed." Yeah, that cuts deep.
I said Bill Shankly once said, "It's more than a game," and it is. It is. I'm angry.
Yeah, but yeah, Dave, give your wife Spurs. She's not really. She knows you're a passionate football fan. She's as much as she's from the same area as me and you. She's never. Some people either get the bug, some people don't get the devotion to the club. Good on them, innit? They just know where to avoid you if we lose.
Well, she's got to work tonight. I'm bloody glad she has.
Well, that's it. Yeah, we haven't lost. We drew.
Yeah.
Well, mate, to me it's a loss. Sorry.
Yeah, it feels like a loss.
It's a loss to me. 2 points.
Well, it could have been a loss. It could have been a loss had it not been for Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale. You think about it, the save from Nunez, the save from Salah from a deflection, and then even though Kanate should have scored, the fact is that if Aaron Ramsdale didn't react, that still could have gone in. You know what I mean?
Mm.
You know what I mean. So we have to admit the second half they battered us, because they were more aggressive. With us, they as I said before, if they played football and played with panache, we would have beaten them. But because what they did is that they're very clever. Their subs for a start, in terms of bringing on, the only way you're going to bring on Thiago is if you've got other midfielders and other players pressing and you're winning your 50-50s, because that gives them a lot of space. And Kanate won every 50-50. You've got to shake their hands, mate. Henderson played like he was playing 5 years ago, and Trent Alexander, from attacking point of view, ruining Zinchenko. That's something we've got to talk about in player ratings, because that's got to be addressed, the Zinchenko thing. So you think about it, on the balance of play, where we went wrong is that when we probably should have got the third goal. But it says a lot that we're saying we probably should have got the third goal, win the game. With the amount of clean sheets we're not keeping, we're only scored 2 or 3 goals to win a game. It's a bit worrying, isn't it?
Yeah. 9 goals in the last, 8 games? Yeah, it's not good enough. But listen, you know how this works, people. Cry, we don't care. we're back against West Ham. Let's start with you, Jez, whilst I go to the bathroom. Aaron Ramsdale, had absolutely nothing to do for about 35 minutes. After that, I'll let you speak. I'll be back.
Yeah, 35 minutes. We were on top, 2-0 up, looking good, looking positive. I was absolutely buzzing, Kenny. Loving what I saw. And he was at total command. The defence looked good, I have to say. And then nonsense happened with Xhaka. Second half, he saved our skin, Aaron Ramsdale. He was in total command, brought out some absolute class saves. I thought his distribution of the ball was excellent today. And my man of the match, Kenny, I'm giving him a 9 because I thought without him today, we would have lost that maybe 4, maybe 5-2.
100%. I think I couldn't agree with you more. If you give him a 9, it's fantastic because you think about it. That's probably why you buy him, because I think when you do win championships, there's going to be some games where your goalkeeper is going to be needed. There's going to be games where he's got to be nothing to do, but the top goalkeepers have quiet moments in games for the majority of games, especially when you're playing in great teams and good teams, and then that they earn their money where they make a save in the last minute and you hold on to a 1-0 win. They make a save in the last minute, you hold on to a 2-2. They make a save they save a penalty that can go tight. And then when you get to the end of the season, that's what happens. You think about, if you go back, you can go back as far as Neville Southall when he made that save against Tottenham in '85 from like a header from Mark Farkle, point blank. That helped Everton win the league in '85. So, hopefully the omens are good for us in terms of like Aaron, because don't get me wrong, there's times when where I haven't been convinced, but he's got balls of steel. He definitely thinks he's the best goalkeeper in the country, and he loved being an Arsenal player. He's got the personality to be a goal, and I think that's what it was with. That's probably one of the reasons why Leno lost his place, not because the guy's a better goalkeeper, because his personality. He exudes confidence around the team. Aura.
Confidence, exactly. Yeah. Man of the match, Jez?
Oh, my man of the match all day. 9 for me.
Okay.
All day.
Kenny, Ben White, very quiet today.
I thought in the first half, he had the thing with Ben White is that this is where the defensive side of his game was more important than his attacking side, because it's Liverpool. As much as people talk about Liverpool's form away from Anfield, the fact is that Anfield you have to defend well. You can overlap if you must, but with the way they're fullbacks and the way they play on the flanks, you've got to be able to defend. I thought he had an okay game, made a few tackles, got himself booked, and that kind of made him go in his shell. So I have to be honest and give him a 5.
Zinchenko. Look away now, Zinchenko fans.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Lee, why did you have to be in? Why did you have to be in? I'm sorry. He was not the player we needed today at left back. I said it all week long. I think I said it on the podcast Monday last week. Pot Tierney in there. We're at Liverpool. We need a proper bloody left back. And he cost us, man. Nutmegged. Cost us the second goal, and shocking. I said it, Lee. I said it, Kenny. I called it. If you've got him against Liverpool at left back, he'll go inverted. That will give Mo Salah all the room he needs, and it did. And I'm sorry, mate, you're getting a 4. Zinchenko, you cost us today.
Rob Holding, Kenny.
I think it was kind of. I think Rob Holding, he did well today. I thought, especially that second half when the onslaught, he showed his mettle. He made a few important tackles. You know, he had a Willie Young pork chop moment with the penalty, but again, he got sucked in by Jota. Got sucked in, got absolutely sucked in, and got deceived, and he got overexcited. And Salah thankfully for him, Salah was way overconfident, way overconfident. You know what I mean? He just assumed he was going to score a penalty because that could have been really costly. And then say that they made it 2-2 in the 54th minute, that could have been 36 minutes of trying to hold on. But you know what? Didn't let his head go down. Made important tackles. Used his a bit of acceleration to win the ball. But you know what? It wasn't an easy game for Rob Holding. It wasn't going to be. You know what I mean? It's Liverpool at Anfield. So I'm going to give him a 6.
Magalhaes. Jez.
I thought Gabriel did really well today. He didn't really do too much wrong. He looked solid. And I think this guy has blossomed as the season's gone on. I mean, last year he did make some seriously stupid errors. I don't think he did today. Unfortunately, he did get caught out on one occasion, but I thought he was decent, and I've given him a 7.
Thomas Partey.
I thought Thomas Partey today, first half, I was very, very pleased with him. In fact, most of the game, I think he was left with an avalanche of attacks, and people forgot that that there's a 3-man midfield. It's no coincidence that Martin Odegaard was taken off, because from a sort of he did try to help him out in the first half, but the second half he was getting overrun. There wasn't any point in Martin Odegaard being on the pitch because he didn't have enough time on the ball to do his to create chances, and in terms of what was required to give Partey a bit of support, he weren't there as well. So Partey was doing 2 or 3 people's jobs in the second half. So I'm going to give him a 6 because I think it's one of those things where it was a case of being crowded out by, it's basically someone trying to get in a club and about 4 bouncers sitting on top of you. You can't do anything. And your mate's not there. Your mate's not there to sort of, like I said, give you a bit of a backup when the bouncers are coming around you. That's how it felt in the midfield. I'm sure we're going to get a great Xhaka in a minute, but that's how I felt. That's why I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, for me, I thought he played really well, but again, I get it. It was kind of like one man army at some points. Jez, your favourite player, Granit Xhaka.
He was. Not today. Cost us the game. Sorry. Don't care what anybody says. He should never, ever, ever have got involved in that little fracas. The wrong thing to do. You don't do that at Anfield. I've been to so many games and Arsenal players have done that. I remember Patrick Vieira doing it once. Cost us the game. And once you've got the Anfield crowd quiet and you are in control, they stay quiet. They go to sleep. It's like how, you remember this, Lee, Kenny, how Chelsea fans, Tottenham fans used to call Arsenal the Highbury Library. Yeah? Do you remember that? Yeah? When Arsenal were under the cosh, Arsenal fans went quiet. Latterly, not the case at the Emirates. It's not. I know that. But Granit Xhaka, man, today you absolutely cost us that, because literally 2 minutes later they scored. And that's all down to you, because you got that crowd punching up, liking it, loving it, and you got in his face. And no, you don't do that Anfield. We were in total command. Once you go to 2-1 at Anfield, going into that second half, no. And that's what I'm so angry about, man. I'm sorry, mate. You today are getting a 4.
Martin Odegaard, Kenny.
I think Martin Odegaard in the first half, when we were on top, he was fantastic. Setting up, I think after that, he was in and out of the game. And I think the second half, it wasn't his game. It was no point having Martin Odegaard on the field if we're not going to have any sort of control on the control of the match. You know, it was probably a game where you needed Martin Odegaard to just put his foot on the ball, look around and slow the game down. But physically, he wasn't able to do that. Liverpool realised that they're actually playing a top team. They realised that it is a big, big game. And then once they realised that and they got in amongst him, they basically strangled him and overpowered him. And not just him, but quite a few of our players. And I thought, you know, today, even though he had a chance, he has a shot, which Alisson, after that chance, which with involving Xhaka, after that he was a passenger. So 5 for me today. It's not a critical 5. It's just that the way the game went, there was no point in you being on the pitch. You were just, because simple reason is that there was no way you're going to be able to get the ball in order to dictate the game. So the substitution of you was fair, but the players to replace you, I would have had a few questions about
that. Bukayo Saka, Jez.
Yeah, Saka. First half, 30 minutes, I thought he looked decent. Really did. Really mixing it up, causing all kinds of trouble on that Liverpool defence. Second half, bloody awful. Sorry, awful. And don't know what he was doing. He looked totally lost to me. I'm sorry, mate. Today you are going to get a 6. The only reason you're going to get a 6 is because of that lovely little dribble you made and created that goal. But apart from that, mate, you did absolutely jack. So, no.
I agree. Martinelli,
I thought first 40 minutes, first half, I thought he was fantastic. Second half, again, he did his best, but the onslaught as well. Once Liverpool, I think when it was Martinelli against Trent Alexander-Arnold with like Van Dijk, he had a field day. But when Canute swapped sides and said, right, come past me, I think Martinelli, kind of said, you know what, it's not my day today, didn't want to know. And I think he was Canute's, just like Xhaka was Canute. And I think that's what's happened to him. So I'm going to give him a 6, and because, he scored a good goal. Although Klopp still seems to think it was an own goal. Sorry, Jurgen, it was Martinelli's toe poke to put it in the net. And I thought he scored, he created the second goal, a great cross where Jesus scored a goal. But overall, second half, I thought he faded a bit. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to mark him down a bit. So 6.
Gabriel Jesus.
Gabriel Jesus. I love this guy. He's always up for it. He works his nuts off. Lovely, lovely. That header. Wow. And what a cross from Martin. I think it was Martinelli made the cross. I think I'm right in saying that. And he took it so well. But then second half faded out the game, in my opinion. But he got subbed too late in my book, and we'll come on to that, I know. But it's a lovely goal, and he really worked his nuts off. And so I'm going to give Jesus, I'm going to give him a 7.
Trossard, Kenny.
Trossard made no impact whatsoever. You could argue that it was a well-intentioned substitution because it was meant to encourage us from sitting back, but we sat back anyway. So, he was just there to give us a bit of legs because Jesus ran himself into the ground, but he made no impact whatsoever, which is unlike him. But it was one of those games where you can't blame him because it was like an onslaught of, like being on the ropes and trying to block the punches. So I'm going to give him a 5.
Yeah, I'll give him a 5.
Strange sub, Jez. Kiwior.
What's the point? What is the point of bringing him on in that at that time in the game? At Anfield? Are you sure? He's not a seasoned Premier League bloody player.
Do you know what that? Sorry to cut you off. Do you know what that reminded me of? Yeah, Nuno Tavares coming on, and throwing the game.
Yeah, I mean,
and I ain't pinning it on him because he didn't throw the game, but very similar sub. Weird, very weird.
I think Arteta basically threw the poor bloke under the bus. You know, how many games has he played for us? 4 as a sub?
If that.
3?
If that.
3?
If that.
3? And you bring him on at Anfield when he in that game. I mean, I'm sorry. Come on, Arteta. You are a prick for doing that.
He was part of the problem, Chess.
Sorry?
He was part of the problem. He was part of the problem when he came on. That just encouraged us to sit more and more back and invite pressure.
Yeah, he did. You can't do that at Anfield. You know, at Anfield, you've got to be on the front foot. And that
was his second Premier League game.
Second, is it really? Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well done, Arteta. Well done,
when you've
mate.
got experienced Tierney sat on the bench, you've got Smith Rowe sat on the bench. Come on. Like, weird. Very weird.
What is that about, man? Come on. I'm sorry, mate, but I'll give him a bang average 4. No fault to him. Purely and simply, he just wasn't the right player at the right time, because you just don't do that at Anfield. Sorry, that's shocking, disgraceful.
Yeah. His first Premier League appearance was Palace for 4 minutes in a 4-1 win.
Was it? Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
and then he played that game.
Do it at Anfield. You do it at Anfield. Shit,
mate,
really?
He did it with Nuno Tavares. Jez, he did it with Tavares, and we lost the game. Weird sub. Kenny, last but by no means least, Kieran Tierney.
Arguably should have played. You know, the fact is that you know, again, it's risk and reward. But you know, if you know, one of the things that's could cost us this title was a lack of clean sheets. And you know, unless you're, and even the alleged average sides are creating chances against us and converting them, and we're able to score 3 or 4 goals. Now, Kieran Tierney's side, we will be more solid down our left hand side. You know, the ease of which he got through Zinchenko was great. And the problem with Kieran Tierney, when he came on, it was a case of like, how do I say it? You know, when the tyre's punctured and you're trying to put air into the tyre, but there's punctures all over the tyre. And I think it was a lost cause when he came on, because by that time Liverpool had so much momentum that he wasn't able to affect the game. But there was a time when, you know, he got a bit excited. He could have won us the game. You know, remember he took that shot early with a bit of a swerve. If he if he probably took more time, he could have scored a goal. But in terms of what he had to do, again, I'll be knocking on the manager's door and thinking, hang on, I could have been useful today. But in terms of what he did, I'll give him a 5.
Right, people, you know how this works. Yeah. If you want to cry. We don't give a shit. We're back for West Ham. Come on. Yeah, West Ham are massive everywhere they go. Wakanda forever. 3, 2, 1. Arteta. 5.
2.
5.
Ooh, 2. Go on, Jez.
Shocking. Cost us the game. He had the team set up wrongly, in my belief. Kieran Tierney should have started at left back, going to Anfield. You need your best bloody left back. Sorry, you can't go and have a left back who goes inverted, gets exposed. When you've got a player of most Salah's quality coming down that wing, no, that's bullshit. Sorry. Arteta, mate, you are today a prick, because you got that so wrong. So wrong. The substitutions were rubbish because you left it way too late. You should have made that substitution at 65 minutes. When you have a world-class, experienced manager who's won just about every trophy you can, and you see him make 2 substitutions, you know the game's going to change. So, Arteta, you should have upped your game and changed the team. because you brought on the wrong players at the wrong time. Kiwior,
100%.
absolute waste of time. Too late for Tierney to do anything, and you got it absolutely wrong. And today, Arteta, I have bigged you up all season, and today you are shockingly bloody rubbish. So you have got a 2.
Couldn't agree more, Jez. I think what's happened is that Arteta, you know, I think one of the things Arteta, he kind of you get his own conversation after the match. He, like me, feared Liverpool. He, like me, didn't look at the away performances. He looked at the games that Liverpool have played at Anfield and the thrashings he got when he was an Everton player. Now I think that scrambled his brain a bit. But what he did is that he panicked, and then when Liverpool, to try and stem the tide, he retreated even more. And like, in football nowadays, you can't give good players like Thiago and Cantara time on the ball. You can't give good ball players like, you know, Henderson and Alexander-Arnold too much time to pick across. Alexander-Arnold, in certain matches, his delivery hasn't been that great. Today's delivery was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I think that is what brought Liverpool in the game. And if you give players like that time on the ball, you're gonna struggle. You know, the midfield weren't aggressive enough. That's something he needs to talk about. He had enough time with the amount of times we were wasting in the field, feigning injury. He had enough time to tell him to get in and press the pressers. That didn't happen. Sitting back against good players is a recipe for disaster. He should know that better than anyone else.
Yep, absolutely. Totally agree, Kenny. Totally agree. Shocking.
Facts. Absolute facts. Jez, what you got coming up, mate? What you got coming up?
10 o'clock tonight, I'm doing a reaction show. Doing that. Then obviously tomorrow, Monday, isn't it? Be on your podcast with Kenny Ken. And then Wednesday night, 6 p.m. is my weekly podcast with Kenny. Lee, I believe you'll be there this week. And
yes, I will.
I'm going to try and get Ola on because I've never had Ola on the channel.
I'm going to message him. As soon as we have dusted this off, I'll message him.
That'd be great. I love to have different people on, especially quality people. And
Ola's very good. Ola's very good. He's very good. He's done a Bergkamp one. He's a veteran of the Bergkamp Wonderland, and he's done his talk as well. So he's a veteran of that as well. Plus, he does a very good, like a mixed martial art boxing show as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've subbed to him, and I'm not great into boxing and all that. I won't lie, but I do occasionally flick in and have a little look. But yeah, that's it. And then I've got 2 Arsenal history ones written up, which I need to finish off. I'm going to do third part of the Arsenal in the Glory 30s, the final one. There's so many people that contact me. When are you going to finish it? When are you going to finish it? So I'm going to do that this week. Get it out of the way. Get it out of my hair. Well, I haven't got any hair, but I'm going to do it anyway. So there we go.
I'm catching you up. Don't worry about that, mate. I'm catching you up. Yeah.
No, you're a long way
off. The size of my forehead.
No, you're a long way off.
Too much gel, mate. Got to stay off the gel.
I don't use gel. I don't. Do you know what? Real talk, yeah. I've lived here 3 years. I have not used gel the whole time I'm here.
What about how many times a week do you shampoo your hair?
I've never washed my hair for with shampoo, maybe a decade. I don't use cosmetics on my hair. I've not put gel in my hair for maybe for 3 years. I've probably not
normally. No, if you look around the forehead, there's natural oils, and if you if you get them dry, then the hair won't grow, and that's how people get bald.
Wait, I've not put gel in my hair, and I used to use VO5 Fiber Putty. It's like glue. Literally, it's like
yeah. All right, fair enough. Because I know gel.
Yeah,
gel does.
Yeah, I've not used that for 3 years. I don't ever wash my face with soap. No, I just wash it warm water.
I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
Why
Up
do
to
you
the age
think I
of
look so fresh
24,
at 41?
I had hair down to here. And
I believe that.
No,
it was
pictures
thick.
will never happen, Jez.
I believe that.
I'll
I believe that.
show you some pictures. I'll
At
show you
that
pictures.
time, if you talk about 1985, 86, Charlie Nicholas, a lot of people went to Charlie Nicholas look. Especially
Yeah.
Arsenal fans, what's going on for me? A lot of people. I'm not saying they grew their hair like Charlie Nicholas, but a lot of Arsenal fans had the Charlie Nicholas look. In fact, a lot of football fans in general, the 80s was a Charlie Nicholas look.
You know,
a lot of people had long hair in the 80s.
All that, but my hair loss on the male side of my family is on my granddad's side. My granddad, my mum's obviously the Arsenal guy. He was bald at 24. 24. He was bald.
I've seen it happen.
and so basically, unfortunately, I mean, my son, who is 26 now in New Zealand, he's starting to go up here. And he sent me a picture at Christmas saying, "Dad, I'm going bald." And I went, "Unfortunately, mate, it's in the family. Can't help it."
Yeah, it was.
Mate, I don't use soap. So listen, we know as guys downstairs, Manscaped settings and all of that. Yeah, right. We know don't put any cosmetics on that shit. No soap. Yeah.
There's a few pork chops who do that. I know pork chops who put deodorant
and they end up with they end up
there's
with
a few pork chops who've had to go to the hospital because they've been doing things like that, putting eau de toilette and deodorant down there.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. Warm water, mate. Warm water on your face. Warm water on your hair. Real talk, I have not put shampoo in my hair or soap on my face for about at least a decade. Yeah, at least a decade. I've not put gel in my hair for 3 years.
Fair enough.
Years. Yeah. But to be fair, it ain't stopping my fucking hair fall out. And on that bombshell, Jez, love you, mate. Happy Easter. I'll be with you on
Happy
Monday.
Easter, everyone. And to everyone watching, happy Easter. Enjoy yourself. And if any of you guys have got any leftovers of lamb, send them my way.
Mate, the whole fucking week in Spain has been Semana Santa, which is the Holy Week. It translates to Holy Week. Mate, the whole week has been a bank holiday. Literally the whole week. Yeah. But yeah, big up the Spanish, man. And yeah, we'll see you both tomorrow.
I got this tweet.
I got
that.
I want one of them as well.
Mate, Smarties.
Love them.
Number 100. Yeah, number 100. Yeah, like literally numbers. Yeah, you give them to kids, they're tripping. Yes, we're gone before I say too much. Laters.